Welcome to my channel. This next request that I have was made by VHSSW, and it's Chance Peña. And he put in parentheses, 24-year-old folk singer. And the name of the song is I Am Not Who I Was. That's an interesting title. A folk singer. We haven't seen a folk singer here in a while. It'd be interesting to watch one. Before we get into the music, though, I have to thank you for coming here, and I have to thank you for my channel. It wouldn't exist without you. And because of you, it's growing like crazy. So thank you. I always put the artist links in the description of their playlist, so you can support them as well. But I put the link to the song I'm reacting to in the description of the video. I also put a link in there for Wikipedia if I can find anything that's relevant. And I always put the link to the reaction request form, so you can request reactions if you want to. I have over 3,600 requests in my queue now. That makes the math real easy. Divide 6 into 3,600. It takes 600 days to do 6 a day. So clearly, if you make a request today, it's going to be a while before I get to it. Almost 2 years. You're just going to have to be patient. I'm sorry, but I have a lot of requests. Now, if you should happen to put a request in the comments, I'm just going to reply with a link to the form, because you have to use the form to make a request. That's how we do it on this channel. So this is Chance Peña singing I Am Not Who I Was.
I've been living on the road, made a buck of my soul. I've been singing stories to the crowd. It's been a while since I've been home. I think about you every night, wonder what it would have been like if I stuck around and settled down, maybe in another life. So if I fly too far, will I still have a place inside your heart? And when you see what I've become, will you love me for who I am, not who I was? You keep me steady on the ground when my head's lost in the clouds. That spotlight, though it shines bright, could never drown you out. I know it's hard when I'm away. I just hope you don't lose faith, 'cause I told the truth when I said to you that I'll be back someday. So if I fly too far, still have a place inside your heart. And when you see what I've become, will you love me for who I am, not who I was? Will you love me for who I am, not who I was?
Well, that was an interesting song, and Chance has an interesting voice. He's got kind of a tremolo, or vibrato, if you want to call it that, it's not really like, like an opera singer vibrato, but it's a wobbliness to his sound. And interesting song too, if you think about it. No matter what you decide to do in life, you're going to pay a price in the aspect of you're going to have to give up something to get what you want. In the case of a singer who goes on the road to perform, he's giving up his home life. And he's singing, I hope you don't forget me while I'm gone. I told you I'd be back, and I promise I will. And I hope you'll accept me for who I am when I get back. An interesting presentation of what it's like to be a musician on the road. Some musicians decide they just want to do local gigs, and they perform in bars or whatever, and they go home at night late, but they go home. Other musicians have greater aspirations, and so they go on the road. And it's not an easy life, but it's the life that they chose because of the goal that they had. And so my point is, when you set goals for yourself, think carefully about what price you have to pay to reach those goals, and whether or not that's a price you're willing to pay. Because no matter what it is, you'll pay a price. For example, I made the decision that I wanted to do things where I could be home every night. And so there were a lot of things that were precluded to me. When I was young, I had a man who actually wanted me to go to upstate New York to perform in theater up there. But I chose not to because I didn't want to be away from home. That's a choice that I made. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset. I don't, think, gee, what if? Because there's no profit in that. But I'm just saying, if you're young and you're starting out in life and you're starting to set your goals for what you want to accomplish in life, make sure that you're willing to pay the price of whatever it is you want to do, because there will be one. And that's what he's singing about, is the price that he pays for being on the road, is that he's away from his loved ones, and he has to, in a way, hope that they'll still be there when he gets home, and they'll still love him. And it takes a special kind of person to do that, to love someone who's gone a lot. Special kind of person. Anyway, I'm waxing philosophical now. I just pray that God will bless you with his peace, and that you will have zero anxiety in your life, that your life will be as tranquil as it's possible to be, because you put your trust in God. And I pray that for everybody that you love as well. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.